Your life does not change when you learn something new. Your life changes when you do something new. Think about that. Most people know what to do. They know they should exercise. They know they should read. They know they should work on their goals. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is action. And that is where dreams are won or lost. Because ideas alone will not change your life. Plans alone will not change your life. Good intentions alone will not change your life. Action does. Success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. Every successful person understands this. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait until they feel motivated. They act. Some days they feel inspired. Some days they don't, but they move forward anyway. That is the difference. Let me ask you a question. How many goals are still waiting for you? How many dreams have been delayed? Not because you lacked talent, but because you delayed action? Think about it. A year from now, your life could be completely different. Not because of one giant decision, but because of small actions taken every day, one extra page read, one extra workout completed, one extra hour focused on your future. Small actions, big results. The future does not get better by hope. It gets better by action. And here is something important. Action creates momentum. The hardest part is often beginning. Once you start, the next step becomes easier, then the next, and the next. But if you keep waiting, nothing moves. Your confidence doesn't grow. Your skills don't improve. Your dreams stay where they are. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for certainty. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment rarely comes. The successful person learns to act despite uncertainty, to move despite fear, to begin before they feel ready, because action is the cure for doubt, the cure for procrastination, the cure for regret. And in this message, we're going to explore how daily action can transform your life, how discipline can replace excuses, how consistency can replace hesitation, and how one decision to act today can change your future. Because at the end of the day, you don't become successful by what you know. You become successful by what you do. Push yourself. Take action every day. And watch your life begin to change. Your future is not created by what you intend to do. It is created by what you actually do. Think about that. Every person has dreams. Every person has goals. Every person has ideas about what their life could become. But dreams alone are not enough. Goals alone are not enough. Ideas alone are not enough. Because a dream without action remains a dream. And that is where many people get stuck. They spend years planning, years thinking, years waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect time. But life rewards action, not intention. Success is not something you wish for. It is something you work for. That is a lesson worth remembering. The person who takes action imperfectly will always move further than the person who waits perfectly. Because action creates movement, and movement creates progress. Now let me ask you something. What is one thing you know you should be doing right now? Maybe it's starting a project. Maybe it's improving your health. Maybe it's working on a dream you've been postponing. Deep down, you already know. The challenge is not knowing. The challenge is doing. And that is why you must learn to push yourself, not once in a while, every day, because success is built daily. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Every day. That phrase matters. Not when you feel motivated. Not when life is easy. Every day. Some days you'll feel excited. Some days you won't. Some days you'll wake up inspired. Some days you'll wake up tired. But your future does not care about your mood. Your future responds to your actions. That is why discipline matters. Action is what separates possibility from reality. Without action, potential stays hidden. Talent stays unused. Dreams stay unfinished. But with action, everything begins to change. Your skills improve. Your confidence grows. Your opportunities increase. And slowly, you begin becoming the person you were meant to be. Now understand something important. You do not need giant actions every day. You need consistent actions. A few pages read, a workout completed, a task finished, a promise kept. Small actions, repeated daily. Those small actions may not seem powerful today, but over time, they change everything because consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates results. What you do every day matters more than what you do occasionally. That is how successful people think. They don't rely on bursts of motivation. They rely on habits. They rely on discipline. They rely on daily action. And eventually, those daily actions produce extraordinary outcomes. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for some future version of yourself. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Because action has a way of creating confidence. The more you do, the more you believe. The more you believe, the more you achieve. And it all begins with one decision. The decision to push yourself, the decision to act, the decision to move forward. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's difficult, even when you don't feel like it. Because every day you take action, you become stronger. Every day you take action, you become more disciplined. Every day you take action, you move one step closer to your goals. So remember this, your dreams are waiting. Your future is waiting. Your potential is waiting. But none of it comes to life until you take action. Push yourself every day. Take the step. Do the work. And watch your life begin to change. If you only work when you feel like it, you will accomplish very little. Let's talk about one of the biggest traps in life. Waiting. Waiting to feel motivated. Waiting to feel confident. Waiting to feel inspired. Waiting for the perfect mood. And while you're waiting, life keeps moving. Days pass. Weeks pass. Months pass. And suddenly you realize nothing has changed. Not because you lacked ability. Not because you lacked opportunity, but because you kept waiting. Now think about this. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I feel ready. I'm just not in the mood today. Those words sound harmless, but repeated often enough. They become a habit, and habits shape your future. The future does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Change requires action, not emotion, because emotions are unpredictable. Some mornings you'll wake up excited. Some mornings you'll wake up tired. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Some days you'll feel discouraged. That's normal. That's part of being human. But if your actions depend on your feelings, your progress will always be inconsistent. And inconsistent effort creates inconsistent results. The truth is simple. Successful people do not act because they feel good. They act because they made a decision to stay committed, a decision to stay disciplined, a decision to keep moving, even when they don't feel like it. That is where growth happens. Discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Let that sink in, whether you feel like it or not. Because your goals don't care about your mood. Your future doesn't care about your excuses. Your future responds to action. Imagine a farmer. What if he only planted seeds when he felt inspired? What if he only worked the field when he was in a good mood? There would be no harvest. Success works the same way. You must do the work consistently, not emotionally. Now here's what most people don't understand. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Most people think, I need motivation first. But successful people know, I need action first. Once you begin, energy increases. Focus improves. Momentum builds. The hardest part is usually the first step. After that, the process becomes easier. Don't wait until you feel better. Act, and you'll begin to feel better. That's how confidence is built. That's how discipline is built. That's how success is built. One action at a time. One day at a time. One decision at a time. So stop asking yourself, do I feel like it today? Ask yourself, is it important? If the answer is yes, do it. Not because you're motivated, not because you're inspired, but because your future deserves it. The people who achieve great things are not always the most talented. They are often the most consistent. They learned a powerful lesson. Feelings come and go, but discipline stays. So don't wait for the perfect mood. It may never come. Instead, create the habit of acting anyway. Because every time you take action, despite how you feel, you become stronger than your excuses. And every time you become stronger than your excuses, you become stronger than yesterday. Don't wait for the perfect mood. Take action now. Your future is being built today. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Read that again. Not once a month. Not once a year. Every day. That is where success lives. In the daily actions most people ignore. We often admire great achievements. A successful business. A healthy body. A strong mind. A meaningful life. And from the outside, it looks extraordinary. But what we don't see are the small actions that created it. The early mornings, the extra effort, the daily discipline, the repeated habits, small things, done consistently. That is the secret. Most people underestimate what they can accomplish in a year because they underestimate the power of one day. One day of reading, one day of exercise, one day of focused work. It may not seem important, but repeat it tomorrow and the next day and the next. Now something powerful begins to happen. Momentum. What is easy to do is also easy not to do. That is why small actions matter so much. Reading 10 pages is easy, but it's also easy not to read them. Taking a walk is easy, but it's also easy not to take it. Working on your goals for 30 minutes is easy, but it's also easy to postpone. And that is where lives begin to separate. One person does the small things. Another ignores them. At first, there is almost no difference. But after weeks, months, years, the difference becomes enormous. Because success compounds. Just like money grows through interest, your habits grow through repetition. Every positive action adds something. Every disciplined choice builds something. Every productive day creates momentum. And eventually, small actions become big results. Now think about nature. A tree does not become tall in a day. It grows little by little, quietly, consistently, day after day. And one day, people admire its strength. But the strength was being built long before anyone noticed. Your life works the same way. Many people quit because they don't see immediate results. They exercise for a week and stop. They read for a few days and stop. They work on a goal for a month and stop. Why? Because they expected instant rewards. But success rewards consistency, not impatience. The major key to your better future is you. And the future version of you is being created right now by what you do today, not by what you plan to do, not by what you hope to do, by what you actually do. That is why daily action matters. Every day is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose discipline, you vote for growth. When you choose learning, you vote for wisdom. When you choose action, you vote for success. And eventually, those votes create your identity. You become the kind of person who follows through, the kind of person who keeps promises, the kind of person who gets results, not because of one big moment, but because of thousands of small moments. So don't underestimate today's effort. Don't dismiss today's discipline. Don't ignore today's opportunity, because what seems small now may become extraordinary later. Keep reading, keep learning, keep working, keep improving. One day at a time, one action at a time, one step at a time. Because extraordinary lives are not built through extraordinary actions. They are built through ordinary actions, done consistently. Small daily actions create extraordinary results. Stay consistent. Your future is being built one day at a time. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Let's talk about something that quietly destroys dreams. Procrastination. Not failure. Not lack of talent, but delay, putting things off, waiting, postponing, telling yourself, I'll start later. I'll do it tomorrow. I just need more time. And slowly, later becomes weeks. Weeks become months, and months become years, and nothing changes. Not because you couldn't change, but because you didn't start. Success is not built on intention. It is built on execution. Let that sink in. Because most people confuse thinking with doing, planning with progress, preparation with action. But thinking about success is not success. Only action creates progress. Now listen carefully. The truth is, you will rarely feel ready. Rarely will you feel fully confident. Rarely will everything feel perfect. Rarely will the timing feel just right. And if you wait for that moment, you may wait forever, because readiness is not something you feel. It is something you build through action. You don't become ready and then act. You act and then become ready. That is the order of life. Action first, confidence later, clarity follows. But procrastination reverses this. It says, wait until you feel better. Wait until you know more. Wait until fear disappears. But fear never fully disappears. Doubt never fully disappears. Uncertainty never fully disappears. So if you wait for perfect conditions, you will never begin. Now think about this. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person was once uncertain. Every master was once inexperienced. But they started anyway. Not because they felt ready, but because they decided to move. And movement changes everything. The moment you act, something shifts inside you. Fear loses its power. Doubt becomes smaller. Confidence begins to grow. Not before action, but because of action. That is why procrastination is so dangerous. It doesn't stop you instantly. It delays you slowly. One excuse at a time. One delay at a time. One postponed action at a time, until opportunity passes. A year from now, you will wish you had started today. So don't negotiate with procrastination. Don't argue with it. Don't listen to it. Replace it with action, even imperfect action, even small action, even uncertain action, because imperfect action is still progress. Now ask yourself, what are you waiting for? The perfect time? The perfect mood? The perfect confidence? It may never come, but your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not someday, right now. So start, take the step, do the work, begin before you feel ready, because readiness follows action, not the other way around. And every time you act despite hesitation, you weaken procrastination and strengthen discipline until one day you are no longer someone who delays. You are someone who does. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. So choose wisely. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't postpone your future. Act before you feel ready. Start now. Your future depends on it. What you become is far more important than what you get. Let's bring everything together now. This is the final step. Not just taking action, but becoming a person of action, because there is a difference. A big difference. One person occasionally acts. The other person is action itself. One person waits for motivation. The other creates movement. One person hesitates. The other responds. And that difference changes everything. Success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by becoming the right person. Think about that. Your life is not shaped only by what you do, but by who you are becoming while you do it. If you become disciplined, your results become disciplined. If you become consistent, your results become consistent. If you become focused, your life becomes focused. It always starts from within. Now listen carefully. A person of action does not wait. They move. They decide. They execute, even when they are uncertain, even when they are afraid, even when it is uncomfortable, because they understand something powerful. Action creates identity. Every time you act, you are telling yourself, I am someone who follows through. I am someone who doesn't quit. I am someone who gets things done. And the more you repeat that, the stronger it becomes. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, repeated every day. That repetition is what shapes identity. Not big moments, not rare efforts, but daily behavior. Now think about your future. Everything you want, better health, better income, better confidence, better life. It all depends on one thing, your ability to act consistently, because action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without action, dreams remain dreams. Plans remain plans. Ideas remain ideas. But with action, everything changes. Slowly at first, then noticeably, then completely. Now here is the truth many people miss. You don't need a new life. You need a new identity. An identity is built through action, not words, not wishes, but action. Every time you push yourself, you grow stronger. Every time you follow through, you grow more confident. Every time you act despite resistance, you grow more powerful. Until one day, you no longer have to push yourself because action becomes who you are. Your habits determine your future. So choose your habits carefully. Choose discipline over delay. Choose action over hesitation. Choose effort over excuses, because those choices will define your life. Now understand this deeply. Transformation is not a single event. It is a process, a daily process, a repeated process, a disciplined process. And it starts with one simple decision: to act. Not tomorrow, not later, but now. Because every moment you act, you move closer to the person you are meant to become. And every moment you delay, you move further away. So stop waiting for change. Become the change. Stop hoping for success. Become the person who creates success. Stop wishing for a better life. Become the person who builds it. Because in the end, your life will not be defined by what you wanted. It will be defined by what you did. So become a person of action. Stay a person of action. Live as a person of action. And everything else will follow. Act. Persist. Transform. And become who you were meant to be. Your life changes the moment your actions change. Take everything you've heard and don't just understand it. Live it. Because knowledge alone is not enough. Thinking alone is not enough. Planning alone is not enough. Only action creates change. So push yourself, not once, but every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when progress feels slow. Keep going, keep moving, keep acting, because your future is not built in one moment. It is built in many small moments of discipline. The life you want is created by the actions you take today. So don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for certainty. Start now. And one day, you will look back and realize the moment you chose action was the moment everything began to change. Push yourself. Take action every day and build the life you deserve.